Good morning.
Good morning.
We are in our new place here, and it is.
The studio, if you will.
It is. It's a little crooked. We're gonna try to fix that.
Yeah, this is the new Crocker studio.
Yep. We were pretty excited about it. You guys saw the video yesterday.
Yeah, not pretty excited.
We're really excited. We actually went and we ate some food just a minute ago. Got a little celebratory. How do you say that?
Something like that.
Something like that. Drink. And I don't know. It's a new chapter for sure. It's exciting. This is something we wanted but didn't expect.
I think that's the big theme as of the past little bit is ending one chapter and just diving in to this new chapter 100%.
Yeah, and learn to roll with the punches. Again, this is not something we weren't shooting for this. We were looking for a podcast studio, and I'm always looking at places to buy, always in Bristow. It doesn't matter. I'll look at a $3 million house in Bristow, but I'll also look at a $400 house that was for rent. I'm always looking, and I saw another place actually for rent, and before I even told you, I went and looked at it, and I went, after I don't know if you got off work or what, but we talked, and I was like, so I went and looked at this, this place, and it used to be a bar, and it could work for like a podcast or like a little meetup or something that we could do that would be ours, that we don't have to rent all the time at to do like meetups and events.
But you just left it at that.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it for a couple days.
At first, she wasn't very enthusiastic.
I was just like, no.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it for a couple days, and then I brought it up.
We were talking in the Forerunner.
Yeah. And I was like, just talking, and I just looked over at him, and I said, damn it.
It makes sense.
I said, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And you drive me crazy.
Yeah. So we ended up getting the other building, the room. It's basically a room that we were going to do the podcast in, and then they also have a conference room, and in the hallway they have extra seats and coffee and stuff like that. And there's a couple other.
Your muscle.
You just like that, baby.
It's popping.
But a couple other like little offices, I guess you can call it, and we were like, all right, this is cool. And then we got hit up about this after. We were like, oh, why didn't you tell us before that other one? And then we were like, you know what? It just makes sense, honestly, to have both. And it doesn't make sense to some, but it makes all the sense to us.
And I guess that's really all that matters.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And
really, I told Junos this, the main reason is
we need them off our back.
Well, you guys know, I think they've said it a couple times that, we've been over there a couple times, but we haven't invited them out.
Yeah.
But if you guys know, there's no place.
Where are we going to invite them? To the woods?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
So we said, you know what? We'll have a place where we can invite them to.
So we do have this place that we can hang out. They live exactly 3 point... No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how far it is from here, but it is a place that we can actually hang out and have people when they come up to visit. Something comfortable. We can actually cook. We have a refrigerator out here. Everything powered, nonstop power, water, electric, everything. And then...
More importantly... a great setup for the podcast.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know, this studio, you guys know that's something that's very important to us. We're working on another one, and things happened.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know.
Well, one of the things that I've wanted for a long time, and I've talked to Danielle about, is one of my big dreams is to have like a studio, to have a space that I can make videos in and get creative, and something that's not where we're living in the house or like in a bedroom in the house or something bigger. And whenever we walked in, we didn't know what to expect, and the guy that was showing it to us, we walked in and I thought it, like, I didn't know what to expect. We had looked at other buildings that he had. One of them was like an old bar. One of them was like completely gutted, to where like you could see through the floor. There was holes in the brick outside.
Yeah, see through outside from the brick.
And the price was right,
but
it was going to be
too much work for us at
right
the time.
now. Yeah, since we're doing a bunch of stuff, and this was already done. It does need, the Crocker touch to it to make it ours, but it just makes all the sense in the world, and it gives us the freedom to do the podcast in here, have the hangout, burping that food, chicken fried steak, the fun area in there that's like, you really, really love that. I mean, we both love it, but...
Well, that's what the studio part of it is, your dream you've always wanted, and that fun hangout zone is what I've always wanted.
Yeah. And so we're getting both, and then also have room for us to...
An office.
An office and a bedroom. We have a kitchen. So literally, it's the best combination. Mm-hmm. The only way it could be better is if we didn't have neighbors and we can just throw some big old parties or something here. But it is pretty freaking crazy to think now that we have, like, whenever I kind of told you about it and you said yes, I was like, she gonna regret this one. This is gonna be bad. I give it the next day and you're gonna regret it. And we're not. We're super excited about it.
No,
and,
I mean, that is one thing too, is when it comes to this business, I guess you can say,
YouTube is a business for us.
It is. If there's an idea and it makes sense, 100% go for it. I'm not one that's like gonna...
You're not supportive.
Yeah.
You're supportive.
Yeah.
And that's something that, I don't know, it is nice to have, where it's like, I have an idea. You're like, try it. And that's rare. I think that's rare with a lot of couples. I mean, you always hear about, like, the wife getting mad because the husband's sneaking out going golfing or doing this or whatever. And I'm like, what would you think? You're like, let's see what happens, you know?
Well, that's the thing is, like, I trust you 100%.
You shouldn't trust him.
All the comments, but even if something doesn't work out, I trust that you are going to try and do what it takes to make it happen. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think proof is in the pudding of, when it comes to YouTube, we're going to make it happen. We may have failures here and there. I don't think anything we've done is a failure. I think it's all a learning lesson. It's all a stepping stone. It's all, whatever it is that we're doing in the time sets us up for what we're about to do. And I know it's awesome. I know one thing that we do need to touch on big time is selling the house. I'm gonna say this. Not once.
I'm gonna say this. He forced me.
Yeah.
No.
Not once have I ever said anything about selling the house.
No.
Not once have I said we should not be there. Not once should I. It is your property that you had before I came along, and I respect it, and I respect the thing. I respect that you tell me this is ours, whatever. But at the end of the day, that is something that is yours, and I've always respected that. And I will, if we ever do anything with it, that means that you were 100% on board with it. And
you don't even bring anything up when it comes to it.
No.
That is the big thing with the house in town.
Yeah.
There's like the stigma to it. For one, it is ours. It is ours. We are together. We may not be officially married,
but we damn near married.
But it is ours, and that is one thing. Anytime I bring it up about either like renting it, selling it, you immediately say, that's your decision.
I will never tell you what to do, what we should do with it.
And like, I do appreciate that respect about it too, but again, it is
the sirens.
I know the sirens are going, but I don't know, it is ours.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the same thing where I'm gonna make the best decision with that. That's like for us as well.
Whether we might rent it to some nurses, or a nurse or whatever that works, at the hospital, or we might sell it. We might,
and
who knows what.
It's stuff like I'll think about for a while before even bringing it up. So after looking at this, I was quiet for a while, and I was just, first I was like 100% yes, let's get this.
Let's get it.
And then we were driving, and I was just thinking. I was thinking about it, and again, it's just something that makes sense to me. And again, the big theme of closing one door and opening the other. I am just ready to jump into this chapter here. I'm ready to close the door there, basically. I am, whether it be selling, renting, if we could do it today, I would be down. You're the one that says more so like, we'll take it easy.
Let's just, so when we were driving and she brought it up, she's like, what if we end up moving? Not like,
I guess I didn't finish that thought.
We're not trying to live here the rest of our life, not like that. It's just more of, we were driving, she's like, what if we sold the house and lived in that building? And I said, wait, what? And you were like,
just while we're, to be comfortable while we are working at the property. Yes, we have the camper and everything.
What she's trying to say is, instead of going to the house an hour away, why not have a house 10 minutes away? It cuts the drive, it cuts everything. A lot of times when we leave the house and drive, because a lot of times we gotta go get materials, you gotta do stuff. Well, you drive an hour and you're already tired. Then at the end of the day, if you need to, you're going, I don't want to say go to work, because you won't, if you go to work, you go work from here. But if we have to go back to the house in town for whatever reason, it's an hour there, hour back. And there are days that we literally will drive 3 to 5 hours that day. So some of the things that we've been wanting to do around the property, we just don't have the time, because a big chunk of our day is driving. And there are times that, yes, we will always have to go to Lowe's. We'll have to go, big box stores and get stuff that you can't get here in Bristow. But 5-6 days out of the week, if we don't have to leave Bristow, we won't have to.
That just makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So that's something that I'm ready for. Again, we'll see what happens with that. That's not, like, I'm in a rush for it, but you said
we'll
and again, it would, we are working on the property, and we would be like living in this building like forever. It would just be like until we get, I guess they don't know yet.
I don't know what you're about to, you better shut your mouth.
I know.
She's about to spill some beans.
Dang.
But the thing too is, like, we wouldn't be here every night. We would still stay at the property. We had the camper, but you guys know we don't have full electric and full water yet. Here, we come here, we can shower, we can cook, we can do everything, we can upload, and then we can drive back. We can spend the night here sometimes. We can spend the night there sometimes. We can be back and forth. We can have friends come over.
It's only 10 minutes away, and yes, even if we do have power and water out there, there's a little bit more comfort showering here as opposed to a camper shower just because we do our camper is a baby. It's a baby camper.
Well, I guess I'm just trying to paint the picture of, we're not trying to be here and not at the property.
Yeah.
It's just more of, we're trying to cut out that hour drive back and forth, and then also the maintenance. You gotta mow and keep the yard looking decent. You
just
gotta
maintain a whole house.
And then you have, all the bills and stuff there. It costs more to live there than it would to live here. And I don't know. It's just something that I never thought ever, when looking at this for a studio, that we would consider living here for a while. But it does. It does make sense.
One of those things when we say it and you think about it for a while, you're like, dang it, that makes sense.
It does make sense. And so, I don't know, we're super excited. This is a big new chapter, and it's something that I think both of us feel the exact same way of, we, not since the beginning of our relationship, but pretty damn close, did we get Shoot Dang Ranch.
It was very serious.
Pretty close. Not the beginning, but very close.
Yeah.
And that was a massive part of our first chapter. And then also, you know, you have the house and you have the Shoot Dang Ranch and you're doing this and that and everything in between has happened. And we close a chapter on Shoot Dang Ranch. We have very limited time left there. And to almost close a chapter on that house that you have I don't think a history is the right word.
I just think
you have a chapter of your life
I was
there.
gonna say, I think that's just a different chapter of my life. That's just
maybe you in your 30s now.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That's a different life of mine.
Yeah.
Being the single Danielle, like everything. It's just closing the door and like leaning into this is us.
This is our first chapter together
like leaving everything else behind.
And this is our thing to do together and start, I guess, our first official chapter together to where we both got this property. We both got this property. We both, you know, it's like everything is together. Like, you know, there's nothing against Jared, but at Shoot Dang Ranch, that was us and Jared, you know. The house, you had the house before I was there. You know, I had the original off-grid property before you. Yeah. And then now this is our chance to start fresh together. And it does seem like, without you saying it first, like I was just like already thinking about, okay, we got, you know, we're not doing Shoot Dang Ranch anymore. We got the YouTube class building, you know, and we got this, and it's like, wow, it really does feel like a new beginning. It feels like a whole like new, like not even a new chapter, almost like a whole new book that we picked up, like a whole new life.
Closing the door on everything, and there's other things too.
Yeah.
That will come out later.
Yeah. So we are slowly revealing things. We weren't looking for this exact space, but we were looking for a space, and that was one of the big things we were doing behind the scenes. And you know, selling Shoot Dang Ranch and getting a new property was the big thing behind the scenes. Like, we keep talking about all these things that we've done behind the scenes, and it's gonna start coming out, and this is one of them. And we still have stuff up our sleeve, but it won't come out just yet. But I don't know. I'm excited. It's something new and exciting. It
just makes sense for us, and it's just we are leaning into this new life.
Yeah,
I guess.
And I don't know. It feels weird because we've driven by this place a million times, and never did we think we might be like living up there. And then we were like, we can get scooters. We can like go ride around, go to the different places and get coffee and get, you know, something to eat and scoot on over to Coops and, you know,
scoot on over to Coops.
But like we could now have a different lifestyle, and I feel like it came at the right time.
Oh, it just feels right.
It does. So I guess we'll leave you at that. We do have more surprises coming. But this is a big change, and at the end of the day, we don't care if every single person out there said we were dumb.
It makes sense to us.
It makes sense to us, and we feel good about it. We're excited. We know you guys care about us and love us and are excited too. I mean, we're excited.
Yeah.
It's a whole new chapter, baby.
It's a new book.
Ooh.